let's try to observe that what is important when it comes to the accountancy as a subject. Understand, my dear friends, that unless and until you are having the confidence, or unless and until you are having the command on what do I mean by the various types of accounts, unless and until you are having the confidence on that what are the various transactions into a business, unless and until you understand that what is debit and what is credit, you will always be having the situation, you will always be in a trouble, you will always keep asking yourself that what and how am I supposed to write something. And therefore, the basic understanding related to the types of accounts is the most important thing. Then the nature of different transactions is the second important thing that you need to focus upon. That what are the various types of transactions that a business have. And then you have to focus upon that when I am recording the transactions into my books of accounts, then what are the things that I should be focusing upon. Number one, I'll talk about that is the types of accounts. I'm just trying to revise through whatever has been talked about in our regular lectures already, because we have already done with, we have already had a discussion on this point, that the different types of accounts are what, then how those accounts are identified. So I'll just try to summarize on that part, and then we'll go on to the journal entry part. That's more important, because once you have understood the journal entry part and the posting of journal entry, you'll also be able to understand what are the balancing way of doing it. Like how do you do the balancing of the different ledger accounts? That also will become more simpler and comfortable for you. So to start with, I'll directly come on to the first part. That is, now I have already shared some of the videos with you people, wherein I had shared what are the various type of terms that we use, like what is asset, what is liability, what is income, what is expense, what type of assets we have. These all things is what I had shared. So I'll directly come on to the accounts. Now, basically the accounts are divided into two parts. Today's session will be more of a pravachan. Then once we come on, we go over this pravachan, once we are able to understand the things in the normal way, then we'll be coming on to the practical aspect of that. So today's session, you have to just bear with me from tomorrow onwards. Well, in the meantime, so the very first thing that we have to talk about is the types of accounts. Basically, from the technical point of view, the accounts are divided into two parts. One is the personal accounts and the second is the impersonal accounts. That is the accounts which are not related to the individual, the accounts which are not related to the person is what we call as the impersonal accounts. Now, what are these impersonal accounts? The accounts related to things. The account related to activities is what we call as the impersonal accounts. Now, things we have are in the form of goods, in the form of furniture, in the form of fixtures. These all are the things that we have. And then the expenses that we are incurring, the services that we have been providing, these all are considered as the activities. And therefore, those impersonal accounts are further divided into what a business owns, that is what we call as the real account, and the various other activities of the business, we call those as the nominal accounts, that is the accounts which are related to the incomes and expenses of the business. That's what we call as the nominal accounts. So first part, that on one side we have the personal accounts. I'm not yet coming on to the personal accounts. We are talking about the impersonal accounts. Impersonal accounts are further divided into two parts as real accounts and nominal accounts. Real accounts are related to what business owns, जिस पे business का ownership है. मैंने अगर मेरे बिजनेस में लैंड खरीदी तो लैंड becomes my ownership, and therefore the account related to land will be called as the real account. If I purchase a laptop for my business, then laptop becomes my asset, I own that laptop, and therefore the account related to laptop will be called as a real account. Similarly, if I have got the services from the electricity department, they have supplied the electricity to my place, and I'm supposed to pay against that. So the charges that I'm paying against the activity of consuming the electricity will be called as a nominal account. And that's why the account related to that activity is considered as nominal account. Like electricity charges, that is my expense. Telephone charges, my expense. I traveling expenses. These all will be considered as nominal accounts. Similarly, the accounts related to when I am providing the services, when I am supplying the goods, will also be called as nominal account, because the way other person is providing services to me and providing goods to me, that becomes my expense. If I am providing the services to someone, if I am supplying the goods to someone, that becomes my activity of getting income, and therefore the income accounts is also called as the nominal account. You must be realizing the difference between what we have been discussing in the normal lectures and what we are discussing here, because here I am trying to talk about in the common parlance what you have been observing, and based on that you are deciding whether it should be considered as what. All right. So first one is the real accounts. Second one is the nominal accounts. Now I shift back to the personal accounts. The personal accounts basically cover all those accounts related to the individuals. Like my account, if someone is doing the transactions with me and if he's preparing the account, he'll prepare my account, Manish Tardeja account, MT's account. वो हमेशा रिकामा रहेगा, वो बात अलग है, MT, you know. So MT's account, or for that matter, Ram account, or for that matter, Ramesh account, Dheeraj account, Titiksha account, Shraddha account, these all accounts will be treated as personal accounts because we are the natural persons. The account related to the individuals, the account related to the natural persons is what we call as the personal accounts. Similarly, there are certain laws, there are certain legalities in which you bring into certain entities into existence, certain organizations into existence. Those entities, those organizations have got the separate existence, separate legal existence. They are known with their independent name, and we call those entities, those organizations as the artificial persons. If I will talk about it in technical terms, any person created under a particular law or a statute for the time being in force, we call them as artificial person. Matlab kaun? For example, under the Companies Act of 2013, the erstwhile Companies Act of 1956, now it is Companies Act of 2013. You incorporate a separate entity called as a company. So that company has got a separate legal existence. It can enter into a contract in its own name. It can sign on its own in the form of a common seal, in the form of a stamp of that company, with the help of their representatives, individual representatives. So that company is called as an artificial person. Like the course that you have been doing now, that is the CA course, you are doing it with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. This Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is incorporated under the separate law called as the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India Act of 1949. And therefore, ICAI has got a separate legal existence. You are dealing with, अगर आपको कहीं पे भी कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है, रजिस्ट्रेशन में दिक्कत हो रही है, एग्जामिनेशन में दिक्कत हो रही है, you talk to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, you talk to the ICAI, you don't talk to the chairman of ICAI directly. वहां पे जो भी रिप्रेजेंटेटिव होगा, हमको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, चेयरमैन तो हर साल चेंज होता है, the president of the ICAI changes every year. तो हम लोग सिर्फ प्रेसिडेंट पे निर्भर नहीं, हम लोग ICAI पे निर्भर है, प्रेसिडेंट कोई भी रहने, right? That's what is the beauty of that artificial person, that it has got the existence without having the kind of dependence on the existence of their members. Another example of that I can give you is the cooperative societies. There's a law called as Cooperative Societies Act or the Cooperative Societies Registration Act. Under these laws, these societies have got the separate legal existence. उनका अलग वजूद होता है, वो अपने नाम से किसी के साथ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर सकते हैं, and therefore those cooperatives become the artificial person. Similarly, in the case of a bank, there is a law called as the Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Even under the Banking Regulation Act of 1949, a bank has got the separate legal status, the independent status. आप लोग जब कोई डिपॉजिट करने जाते हो तो आप ये नहीं कहते हो कि उस बैंक के मैनेजर को पैसे देने जा रहे हैं, आप लोग कहते हो कि बैंक में पैसा जमा करने जा रहे हैं, बैंक में डिपॉजिट करने जा रहे हैं. So therefore we say that bank has got the separate legal status. कल को अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम होती है तो आप उसके जो मेंबर्स होते हैं उसको नहीं पकड़ते हो, आप उस बैंक को वापस से पकड़ते हो, वो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स को कहते हो कि हमको बैंक से पैसा रिकवर करवा के दो. Because banks has got the separate legal status and therefore even the bank is called as an artificial person. So any organization, any entity which has got the independent status, a separate legal status, which is able to continue in its own name, which is able to contract in its own name, such kind of organizations, when represented by the individuals, are called as the artificial persons. And these artificial persons are also categorized under the first category itself, that is the personal accounts. जिस तरह से हम लोग आपकी और मेरी अकाउंटिंग करते हैं, उसी तरह से जब हम किसी कंपनी के साथ, किसी बैंक के साथ, किसी इंडिविजुअल के सॉरी किसी इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ डील करते हैं, उनकी भी अकाउंटिंग का तरीका वही होता है. उनका भी अकाउंट उसी तरह से डेबिट या क्रेडिट किया जाता है, उसी तरह से उसमें इफेक्ट दिए जाते हैं जैसे हम लोग एक इंडिविजुअल के अकाउंट में इफेक्ट्स देते हैं, राइट? Then there is one more category in the personal account, and that is what we call as the representative personal accounts. Of course, I know about this that many of you must be hearing it for the first time. चाहे हमने पहले जहां पे भी आपने अगर सपोज बेसिक कुछ किया होगा तो उस समय पे शायद आपने सुना होगा what is personal, what is impersonal, what is real, what is nominal, etc. But there are the places where representative concept is not taught or not discussed at all. Now, what is this representative personal? Representative personal is not an account as such. It is basically an account that indicates, that shows that you have to get a benefit from some individual or some artificial person. मान लो आपने किसी इंश्योरेंस कंपनी के साथ इंश्योरेंस करवाया, तो आपने उस इंश्योरेंस कंपनी को पैसा दिया. अब आपने जो उसको इंश्योरेंस कंपनी को प्रीमियम का जो पैसा दिया है, उसके अगेंस्ट वो इंश्योरेंस कंपनी आपको इंश्योरेंस का कवरेज देने वाली है. कब तक? जब तक वो पैसा वैलिड है. सो द अमाउंट ऑफ प्रीमियम दैट यू पेड इज इन एडवांस. So this prepaid insurance, the amount of insurance premium paid in advance is what we call as the prepaid insurance. This prepaid insurance account represents, indicates कि कल को खुदा न खास्ता अगर तुम्हारे अगर किसी के यहाँ कोई अगर प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है तो उस समय इंश्योरेंस कंपनी आके क्लेम सेटल करेगी, आपको क्लेम का पैसा देगी. That is what you call as that is what is the insurance contract. मतलब ये हुआ that prepaid insurance account is indicating, is representing, is showing that if at all something wrong happens, at that time you will be getting the benefit from the insurance company. And mind it, my dear friend, the insurance company is a person and the account is representing that person. That's why the prepaid insurance account is called as a representative personal account. On the similar lines, मान लो आपको किसी एम्प्लॉय ने सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड कर दी, आपके लिए काम कर दिया, आपका पूरा महीना कंप्लीट हो गया, एंड नाउ because that month has got over, now that employee is expected to get the salaries, that salary you are supposed to pay him, but you have not yet paid it. That is what we call as the outstanding salary. So this outstanding salary or the salary payable account is indicating, is representing, is showing that there is an amount of the salary payable to an individual only or not. आपका जो एम्प्लॉई है उसको जाके आप वो सैलरी का अमाउंट पे करने वाले हो या नहीं. And therefore that salary payable account, that outstanding salaries account is what we call as a representative personal account. So in the very simple terms, if you remember it now, any account that is indicating, any account that is representing the amount or benefit receivable from or to be given to a person, then it is called as a representative personal account. Absolutely at the same time, when an account is representing the group of persons together, that account is also called as the representative personal account. Mind it, if you remember when we did the subsidiary book concept in our regular lectures, मैंने कहा था कि जब आप परचेज बुक की पोस्टिंग करते हो, जब आप परचेज बुक के ट्रांजैक्शंस अलग अलग अकाउंट्स में, सप्लायर के अकाउंट में और परचेज के अकाउंट में पोस्ट करते हो, तो परचेज अकाउंट के डेबिट साइड में आप लिखते हो टू सन्ड्री क्रेडिटर्स और टू सन्ड्रीज. Now what is this sundry creditors account? That sundry creditors account is representing the multiple accounts together. That's why the sundry creditors account will be called as a representative personal account. On the similar lines, at the same time, even the sundry debtors account will be called as a representative personal account. So all in all, if I summarize it together, the representative personal account is primarily the account that indicates the amount or benefit receivable or to be given, number one, from a person or to a person, and number two, when group of persons accounts are merged together into a single account, that single account is called as a representative personal account. So this is basically about the types of accounts. Why we need to understand these types of accounts is because when we are doing the accounting, when we are giving the effects into the various accounts for the different transactions, that is done considering these types of accounts. हम जैसे गोल्डन रूल्स ऑफ अकाउंटिंग कहते हैं, ये ट्राइड वाले रूल्स हैं कि अलग अलग वे से इसको ट्राई किया गया और अल्टीमेटली डिफरेंट ट्रायल्स के बाद में एक फाइनलाइज किया गया कि इसका रूल का सिस्टम क्या रहेगा, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी कॉल एज द गोल्डन रूल्स ऑफ अकाउंटिंग. Under the golden rules of accounting, it is said that your rule will depend upon the type of that respective account, and therefore we have to make the distinction first between the different types of accounts. In fact, I would have gone ahead, but it being the very first session after so many days, I'm stopping it by here itself. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about the the different rules of accounting, cash transaction, credit transaction, identifying the accounts in the transaction, and giving the effects of the different different accounts related to debit and credit. We'll meet tomorrow again for the basic accounts at 8 o'clock and for the regular lecture at 4:30. Thank you very much.